Stranglehold really allows the player to play a John Woo movie, and all the elements that you see in the movie are what we want to make present in the game. So slow-mo obviously is a key to it, but the massive destructibility that you see in all of John Woo's movies, as the big battles are happening, everything's exploding around you, is that we really want to make you feel like you're part of that experience. So that's a big part of it. The cool stunts and interactions that Tequila does in the world, you know, he'll be sliding down banisters, sliding across tables, diving on roll carts and taking out people as he's steering through this crowded environment. All those special stunts that he can do while he's still in the gunfight is a huge part of it. And a big goal of ours is to keep smooth flowing gunplay. That means no matter what you're doing, all the interactions, diving from the chandelier or sliding down a banister, all the time you can be shooting at the same time. So it's really important for us to get that smooth flowing gameplay. And then you have other classic things from John Woo like Mexican standoffs, which will be in the game. And we'll even expand upon that, or past that, into vehicles and slow-mo in vehicles and combat and stuff. So we try to pull from every element that we've ever seen in a John Woo movie and allow you to play in the game. Yeah, we have a wide variety of vehicles, which is really cool from a player variety standpoint. You know, we have some levels where you could take a boat if you wanted to and go along the waterways and try to take out these stilt buildings hanging off the side of the cliffs and stuff. Or you could take a 4x4 and go around on the path that leads on the edges of all the rivers and the valleys. Or you can go on foot if you want to. So it's really up to the player. It's really a sandbox environment to allow the player to do however they want. And we have this really cool slow-mo mode while you're in the vehicles, just like when you're on land and on foot. And you're going to be able to target other vehicles, go in the slow-mo, and zoom in the first person and be able to take out key parts of their vehicle or the people in them. So you know, we're really trying to tie that slow-mo into everything that's in the game. We have a huge variety of settings, which is really exciting. We have Chicago is a big part of it, and Hong Kong. And we kind of jump between the two areas as the story unfolds. And in Hong Kong, we have the marketplace environment that you expect in downtown Hong Kong, populated with tons of objects floating around through the world. And in Chicago, we have a penthouse at the top of one of the high-rises in downtown Chicago. It's owned by one of the Russian mob bosses, and it's very opulent, very upscale, huge, multiple floors that looks out upon the whole city. Lots of glass, lots of artwork, lots of things to break and explode as you're fighting your way through it. And we also have a museum in Chicago. This is kind of a combination of all the museums in Chicago, and again, it's geared toward really fun massive destructibility with the dinosaur and the bones and the terracotta warriors and the totem pole exhibit. It's really going to be a fun place to fight in from massive D and interaction standpoint. And that's just a taste. We also have huge levels that just deal with vehicles, which is the boat chase levels, where you're in a boat or you're on a vehicle or you're on foot, however you want. But these are more expansive sandbox areas that you can kind of get off and do whatever you want. So it's just what we're really trying to strive for is a huge amount of variety from a player standpoint, and to bring them things that they haven't seen before in a game. You know, everybody's seen a warehouse a million times. We don't want to do a warehouse again. So we're really trying to pick visually stunning areas that people haven't played in and draw upon their uniqueness. Yeah, massive destructibility is a big part of John Woo, because if you watch any of his early movies, you just see stuff flying everywhere. And we're going to take this even further than just a visual, as it's part of the gameplay too. You can hide behind pillars, but only for so long, because they chip away at the edges as you're standing behind them. But you can use that to your advantage too, and you see enemies camped out behind them too who pop out and shoot you, and you can chip away their pillars too. You can kick tables over that are on the ground and crouch down behind them. You can even push them forward to use them as cover until they basically blast them away and you have to run to something else. So a lot of the elements in the environment, even though they're destructible, can also be used in the gameplay. We're spiritually recreating the sequel to Hardboiled, and the story has to basically be a linear thing. We're telling a movie, we're telling a tale, and we're doing it very cinematically. So the story is basically a linear path. But in each of the areas that you go, there are little sandboxes that the player can go into and solve it however they want to. And that's really what we want. We're really big fans of emergent gameplay, and give the player a bunch of tools, let them figure out how to do it. So that's what it really becomes, is these little sandbox areas that you move through the storyline with. There absolutely will be multiplayer in the game. We're looking for 8-player multiplayer. We'll have the standard deathmatch and a few of the modes that you're kind of expected, but we're also going to have some unique modes that take advantage of the interactions and slow-mo and some different ways of dealing with slow-mo in the environments to really make it fun for the player to come back and play with their friends over and over again. All our levels we've spent a lot of time designing to work in multiplayer. So we're going to section off little parts of the levels and make those the multiplayer arenas. And we spent a lot of time up front making sure they're fun to play in single player and they're really fun to play in multiplayer. And it's worked out really well. Stranglehold will be out for the PS3, Xbox 360, and PC coming in winter. And we'll have more details at E3.